Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome to Bullshit TV. I'm your host. On this platform, I normally don't really like talk about celebrities and shit like that because I don't think they can make a change for what that I'm going for. But this whole Jim Jones situation, I can explain that shit. I'm gonna try to make it as quick as possible because this guy right here, if I ever had a conversation with this man face to face, not over the phone, you know what I'm saying? Really face to face, having a heart to heart conversation, even if it's hatred on his behalf. I know I'm gonna get mad, and that conversation is not gonna go anywhere. Cause like I keep saying, I'm trying to become a better person, and I want to have these open dialogues so we can make the world a better place. You know what I'm saying? We may not all get along. You may not even like me for real, but we can live amongst each other. You feel what I'm saying? But Jim Jones make me mad. He'll make me mad as fuck because he'll sit here and come up with every excuse of why what was going on back in the day. I'm here to explain what's going on, and because I can really, you know what I'm saying. I've never been really too lost off into the world where you know what I'm saying, where I kind of lost my innocence and be able to read a book by its cover. You know what I'm saying? Because I just have this thing about me. I can look at you and I'd be able to tell if I want to fuck with you or just passing by. I don't even want you as my associate. You know what I'm saying? But this guy right here, yeah, Jim Jones, he that guy. He that guy is in the middle of what's going on, literally just because of his age range. You feel what I'm saying? We got people that's younger than him that's like, we all need free health care. There is right racism, not just white and black. It's racism against Chinese people, Arabics, Middle Eastern, all type of shit. Then you have just prejudice against the gay people, women, and shit like that. This man is in the middle because he's seen all of these things. You feel what I'm saying? Because over the weekend and a couple days after the shit broke, I said what I said and I just left it alone. I ain't thinking it was gonna get no coverage for real because it's never no coverage when it's a white rich man talking on some shit about black people. But if it's the roles reversed, as y'all seen with Kanye West and uh, um, Kyrie Irving and Nick Cannon, this happened a couple years ago with Nick Cannon. You see what happens? It's consequences to what they saying. No, they don't want to hear why you did it. They know they didn't like it and they don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? So they did what they did. But this man right here, I'm about to explain Jim Jones. Jim Jones have seen a lot of shit. Okay, so he's at an age right now. He can't help nobody. He can't change. He can't get a better point of view because he's stuck in his ways and he is almost expired, if you know what I mean. He is almost expired. So now the only way that I feel like Jim Jones can even help the black community is money. That's it. Because, you know what I'm saying? Put some money towards black artists, put money towards opening up reopening some of these schools that's been shut down in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Because he said, blase split, but what all I didn't see is this man didn't do nothing for Colin Kaepernick. He ain't say shit when fucking Brett Favre down there taking money from the poorest fucking state of the United States of America, and that is Mississippi. And Brett Favre beloved, probably still to today, because they don't care. All this shit that's going on in the United States of America, Jim Jones know what is going on, and he could have been the focal point. It ain't just white women. It's Jim Jones because he was there as a youngster. Like if he really wanted to make a change, he would have been out there with the black children to make sure they got education. When shit goes on like Breonna Taylor, Jim Jones could have stood up and made his own fucking news conference and say, yes, I believe there's something fishy going on. He ain't necessarily got to say, oh, well, I think this is a racism thing or whatever. He could have just been on, yeah, I believe it could be brutality with the police with Breonna Taylor. Because why? Because the officers, this Blue Lives Matter bullshit that y'all keep spewing out, these Blue Lives Matter people went out there and they was beating up on children for wanting to go to school, want to sit at a fucking diner counter, want to not give up their seats and shit. These children was getting beat on. They was getting motherfucking dogs sicked on them. And all this shit was on the news. So for Jim Jones to sit there and say he was just curiosity, no. But we about to skin this cat for real. Because he knows what's going on. Because just like what all this shit that he said he was just curious about, it was going on back then like it is today. Just like with the voting shit. Martin Luther King back in 1957. I don't know if it was before this picture or after this photo that Martin Luther King made his speech about give us the right to go to the ballot. That was his speech in 1957. So he was alive when Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated and Malcolm X. And they said, oh, it was so long ago. But what has he done to rectify the problems that's going against? Because he sees it. He can explain to you what CRT means, critical race theory, and what's going down there in Mississippi with that money and that white football player, Brett Favre, that played for the Green Bay Packers, cheesehead looking ass bastard. He knows what's going on. Right there is racism and motherfucking prejudice. Because why are you fucking with the black people and they already poor? So you took the rest of the fucking money? And he was up under you, bro. He was up under you. All the shit that was going on, you could have sat there and said, yeah, I believe that some of them protesters that was at the George Floyd shit could have been in jail. I'm not saying all of them, because I agree with you. Some of them was buck wild, but I believe because I come from that side of the tracks that you can't do no wrong. You mad. You just angry. And this shit bubbled to a head and people finally seeing it. Now you just outpouring with emotion. You feel what I'm saying? You can sit there because guess what? They was out there protesting. They was beating people up in suits, in a suit. He wasn't this motherfucking thug that y'all always want to present black people out to be. He didn't have the sagging pants and all that shit. Them children was out there looking presentable, as you want to fucking call it. That's why I rock what I fucking want to rock, because people, them type of people, it don't matter what you do, how you present yourself, they already got their fucking first thought about you. And there's nothing you can possibly do to change their mind unless you save their life. And even then, you won't even fucking matter. So Jim Jones was a pivotal point of changing all this shit, or at least try to get some type of change. Because you talking about, oh, you was just out there. It wasn't no curiosity back then. Because if you was with them, you was with them. It wasn't riding no fucking fence. If you wasn't get them, if you were against racism and all that shit that you trying to portray today, you wouldn't have been able to take the picture with all them fucking white motherfuckers. Because guess what? They would have been jumping on you. They'd have been calling you an inner lover, all type of shit. Your fucking family probably would have disowned you for standing up for black folks just because they black. But the way I'm looking at it, we all just fucking human beings, bro. So I'm not, Jim Jones can't come back from this. And then y'all ain't even putting pressure on this motherfucker. Now y'all talking about it. People will double them down. No. Y'all, he needs some pressure, like a fucking heart attack. I'm not saying y'all need to put some pressure on that man, because y'all let this man sit there and explain himself. Y'all didn't give Kyrie, Nick Cannon. Y'all ain't do none of that shit for them. He out there cackling with the fucking media. Then the media didn't bring the shit up, and this shit was within weeks of this Kanye West and this motherfucking Kyrie Irving shit. But none of this shit came out, and I can guarantee that people that's around my age, probably a little bit older, seen that motherfucking photo. I bet that photo, because that picture right there, the Washington Post got that photo because at that moment it was a pivotal thing, because the segregation was it was going through the process. You feel what I'm saying? So those children could have been the first children. I think it was in Arkansas, to try to, you know what I'm saying? They took pictures of that shit. And you see no, it was no curiosity. You was with them or you weren't. It was point blank, period. And you couldn't be, I don't know, I'm not taking sides. As soon as you said something like that, you're an inner lover to them. You deserve to get beat with them. You feel what I'm saying? But y'all ain't trying to hear that shit. Jim Jones can't do nothing he almost DOA. Let's just keep it real. The man old as hell. And that man's eyes done seen a lot of shit that he is going to possibly take to his grave. He could have changed all that. He could. Yeah, I believe there's police brutality. I believe there's CRT. I believe this. I believe that because he lived through it. You can't tell me he didn't. You can't tell me he didn't. Because all these mixed relationships that y'all see going on now, they was not doing that shit back then. They was not. And you now you questioning, how do Jim Jones know all this? Because his daddy. He had to learn it from some fucking where. And his daddy, as close as y'all can get back to slavery and the Jim Crow when they was just out there hanging motherfuckers like t-shirts. That's why when people seen Trump, motherfuckers start to panic because Trump what the shit was going on back then, because you can call a motherfucker a black person an inner and not lose your job. If it was social media back then, they would have been rooting you off. Yeah, because he is an inner. What are you doing in our neck of the woods? No, they need to go back to the projects. They need to go back to where they came from. That's the type of shit they was talking, and it was no consequence. It just got tucked under the rug because the fucking issue never got solved to begin with. So do what you do. But look, media, y'all go out there, do y'all homework on some shit on this man. Because you can't say, oh, he was just learning, because he could have stopped. He's seen a bunch of shit growing up. And he was 13 then. So imagine what he's seen when he was 15, when he was 17, when he was 18, when he was 20, when he got to 22. Like, he's seen it all. He's a walking history book. So if y'all really want to know what the fuck white folks was doing, he's the one to ask, because he was hanging with their ass. You can't lie to me. It's no alleged. It's no alleged. It ain't no, like, I went into his house and he told me this shit. I'm going back for history books. History books, bro. Because y'all just fell in the seat. Just like the whole world seen that shit with George Floyd. Jim Jones should have brought his ass out and was like, yes, I believe this has been happening because where I grew up. Tell us some motherfucking stories. Not no Sunday, oh yeah, we go to the park and play with the dog. No. Let them know. Yeah. One day we was playing cricket and one of my friends just looked over and it happened to be a black person and called them all derogatory things. And in my heart, I was just like, that's not right. But that's just how it was back then. But I always knew it wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? Even if you just said, I just stood on the sideline. But bro, you got caught in the photo. So you want to be first row seat. Because I bet that was the first day of school or the third day of school. Because they weren't playing. And adults was doing this shit too. It wasn't just kids. So don't try to, oh, they were doing kid things. No. Oh, if they doing kid things, they're bullying. That was bullying right there at its fucking finest. Keeping black children because the way they look from coming to your part of town. Them shine down states are right fucking there, bro. But y'all don't care. But this is just for the people that care. So I'll probably get like 10 people from this whole thing. But Jim Jones, you are the R word. You are. You are. I will say it to your face. Because I can tell by your demeanor, by your eyes, bro. You just seen a lot of shit. And you probably done some lot of shit. I don't know what you did, but I know it's some prejudice shit along. It's all the background. All the background was attached to that shit. You full of shit, bro. And y'all full of shit for letting this shit happen. And I feel bad, kind of bad for the people that's under him, like some of the black players, because they're afraid that they can't fend for their family. But you letting them keep their foot on your neck for some money. Because I can guarantee right now, y'all all expose that shit. He got to retire. He's going to have to donate the team. Fuck that. Don't donate that motherfucker to a HBCU. If you really mean it, give them 49, 50. You feel them? 51. No. Hell no. But it couldn't been me. I know that was my dream to get to the NFL, be able to provide for my family. But look what you got to sell. Look what you got to sell to provide for your family, bro. I get it. You got to do what you got to do. But right now, man, if you've been in the league 5 years or longer, bro, you should have some cheese stacked up and walk a fucking way. Because y'all all can walk away. It's easy. Easy as fuck. Easy as fuck. Finish your contract out, retire. 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 And then within 2-3 years, open your own NFL. Call it the the Negro League. Because we had that type of shit back then. And they said we was being sufficient, and then now they wanted to integrate the shit. So now they can get rid of the HBCUs because the whole agenda was that whitewash shit, the white American dream. You feel me? Cut clean and all that. No. Nope. Jerry Jones is a walking fucking history book. He could tell you what his daddy done said and probably his grandpappy on some real shit. His grandmama, his great uncle, all of them. What was y'all talking about on a Friday night? That's real shit. But y'all ain't trying to hear that.